What's up, you guys? It's Evelyn. I'm bringing you guys my favorite clean girl go-to look. This is something I do when I need to run out the door really quick, or I just want to feel a little bit more put together. Of course, this is going to vary from person to person. This may be a little bit too much makeup for you. This may be a little bit too little. Of course, you can alter this to however you'd like, but again, this is what I like to do when I do this specific look. I immediately feel so put together. I want to get so much done. I just feel like I got my life together when I do just my hair and my makeup. This normally takes me less than probably 15-20 minutes, but again, I did take a little bit longer since I am talking through the video. But if I'm doing this, I can do this pretty quick. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and let's get started with the video. Alright, so we are going to start off with the hair. I go between two hairstyles depending what my curls look like for the day. So I am probably on 4-day hair right now. My hair's looking a little oily just because I did a slick back yesterday. So there's obviously a little bit of product in my hair, causing it to look a little bit more oily than it was before. But I usually go between a slick back bun or a slick back kind of like this, but just a little more slicked back. I feel to achieve the clean girl look, your hair should be completely pulled back. I will say this is not a tutorial on how to do any hairstyle. This is kind of just what I like to do when I have to get ready in less than like 20 minutes. This is usually what I do. To start off, I'm gonna wet my hair just a tiny bit. I'm gonna apply some gel. I'm not gonna put too much just because I already have product in my hair left over from yesterday, but this is just to kind of calm those flyaways. I do a middle part. This is a good time to part your hair however you part it. I usually do middle part, but sometimes if I'm feeling fancy and have more time, I'll do maybe like a side part with like a little piece hanging out. I'm gonna do a little bit of hairspray, not too much, because I don't want my hair to look super wet, and wet makes my hair look darker, so I don't want my roots to be extra dark right now. So I'm just gonna spray. I add more hairspray at the end, but that's just so my hair slicks back a little bit better. I use two brushes for this. This one has hair, but I don't clean it for this reason, because it's a lot sturdier with product in there and hair in there. So I don't know, y'all can judge me, y'all cannot judge me, I don't care. But then I also do this one. This one's a lot slimmer, so this is able to get like in the hair. This one kind of just gets on top of the hair. So I like to do this one first. I start to slick my left side towards the way I want my hair to go. Some days I get really lucky and I'm able to get a pretty good slick back. Other days I struggle. I start to gather the back of my hair into a ponytail just so I can start molding it that way. And at this point I add either more water, more hairspray, more gel. I'm probably just gonna do a little bit more hairspray and then just continue molding my hair into a ponytail until I like the way it looks. This is quite the arm workout. You're going to be switching arms. I recommend you switch arms each time just so you're able to get both sides pretty slick. Sometimes the back is none of my business. Sometimes I just let it be however it ends up. But there's times where I do like to comb it, and then I end up switching to my bigger paddle brush just so I can cover more surface, I guess. And then I start to do the back as well. So as I said, I'm just going to continue molding my hair into a ponytail that I like, and then I'll be right back. My ponytail is done. It is a really good pony day. It looks so good, and I already just feel so much cleaner and more put together like this. That's why I say a slick back is probably your best bet. But you can go ahead and stop here, but I'm going to do a bun. So let's start the bun. All right, for the bun, you could just do a simple twist around and literally just call it a day. But since I like the way my curls look today, I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna split my ponytail in half, and I'm going to twist it so it kind of twists on both sides, basically opposite. And then I'm gonna twist it and go around, twist it a little bit more, and basically twist on itself is the best way I can put it. And basically you just start to mess around with the buns. I'm gonna leave some of my little curls out because I like the way it looks today. It looks a little messy right now, but it'll come together in a second. Alrighty, you guys, we have the bun situated. It comes out different every time. Kind of just depends on if I like it or not. Sometimes I'll redo it 3-4 times. Sometimes I get it on the first try. But this is what the bun looks like. It comes out different each time, obviously, and I don't know. It's just changes each time. The very last step of my slick back is making sure my little baby hairs are slicked back as well. I like to take this little brush right here. Sometimes I spray like my hairline with hairspray, or sometimes I directly spray the brush. I'm gonna do my hairline this time. I do just the tiniest bit, enough to get these little baby hairs to slick back, because sometimes with my moisturizer or my makeup, it kind of brings them down. So this is the last step. Sometimes I do this even after my makeup or right before I leave the house, but I feel like this just makes your hairline look so much cleaner. We're gonna jump right into skincare. Obviously that is super important anytime you wear makeup, or even if you don't wear makeup. I'm gonna show you guys what I do really quick. I go in with a toner and a cotton pad. This has been a thing on my routine for a while, and it helps with pores, which is something I have. I have pretty big pores, so I just like to go over my face. Of course, before this step, I wash, and if I haven't done a face scrub in a while, it's a good time to do a face scrub just so it gets rid of dead skin on your face, and it just makes the makeup sit a lot nicer. Next up, I take my Rhode Glazing Milk. This is something I just started using again. I tried it one day and I happened to have a breakout, and I blamed it on obviously the product, because I never really break out with products like that. But I'm trying it again, and I noticed that my skin just looks so much brighter and not as oily under my makeup. So this has been one of my favorites recently. Following toner, I take the Rhode Barrier Cream. This is also really nice. It's pretty thick, but it doesn't feel thick on the skin. So I just take a little bit, and I just work it into my skin. If you don't wear makeup, this is a perfect time to stop. I do like to wear makeup, so I am going to add a little bit of color back into my face. I only have maybe 3 actual products. I have concealer, liquid blush, and powder blush, and that's basically it. Everything else is kind of just prep for that. So let's jump right into the makeup. I always start with my eyebrows. I'm not going to fill them in today. I kind of just like how they're sitting. I just literally comb them out. And then I take my Got2b 2-in-1 Brow and Edge Gel. All I do is comb them the opposite way to coat them. And then I comb them the normal. And I do like to leave them a little bit thicker and fluffier, just because I'm not doing anything else to them, and I like for them to look a little bit more full. Then I just take a clean spoolie and just shape them the tiniest bit. And once I like how they look, that's all I do for my eyebrows. Since I am adding concealer, I do a little bit of primer just so it sits nice on my under eyes, which is basically where most of the brightness should be. So I take a little bit on my ring finger and I just apply it kind of basically in my T-zone, kind of where the light just naturally hits. Again, we're going for bright skin, so I'm using the little travel sample size of the Glow Recipe. I didn't know I was gonna like it this much. It is an everyday step in my makeup routine. This just adds so much brightness and it just looks very, very healthy. Like that just added so much glowiness to my face, which is what I need when I want to look healthy, put together, fast. Once it gets a little bit tacky, I take some concealer, and this is really the most makeup that I do. I just add it under my under eyes, a little bit on my chin, a little bit on my forehead, and then with that, I just blend it in until it's seamless, and that's basically all for concealer. Once my concealer is blended, I take my liquid blush and just do 2 dots at the top of my cheekbones and then just blend it out. This is a little bit crazy, but I don't like to add a lot of powder to my face just because I like the glowiness that all of the products gave me. So I'm gonna leave my skin just like that, but I'm gonna go straight in with a little bit of powder blush right over the cream blush and a little bit on my nose just so it gives me a little bit more color, and that's it. The reason why I don't do powder sometimes is because I like the way, like how glowy and dewy my skin looks. But if I don't do powder, I go straight in with setting spray just so it protects somewhat of what I have on my skin. I didn't add much obviously, but I still want to protect what I have on my skin. So I just take my One Size matte setting spray and then basically call it a day. My last and favorite step of the makeup is the lip liner and lip combo. Favorite has been the Morphe Makeup Talk. These are like perfect. They don't feel sticky, none of that. So I go between the Morphe and then the Makeup by Mario lip liner. Those are probably my go-tos and my favorites. But I'm gonna do this one today just because it's a little more neutral. I don't necessarily line the middle just because I like to let the lip gloss chapstick do its thing. So I'm just gonna do this one in the center. And that's basically it. Alrighty guys, that is all for today's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if you guys try it out. Let me know if you guys already do this. Yeah, that's basically all. Nothing much else from me. But I'll see you guys next time or next week. Bye.